Today I'm going to give you the best Town Hall 9 attack strategy video you've ever gotten. We're going to go over the top 3 attacks at Town Hall 9, but not just attacking other Town Hall 9s, attacking Town Hall 10s as well, because I know a lot of you end up in bad mismatches in wars. And then we're going to finish off by going over all the hero equipment information you could possibly need. The first attack strategy we're going to go over is Witch Slap. This is the easiest ground attack strategy. It's very simple to execute, and I'm going to show you how. So to start off the attack, you use 1 golem and 4 witches on both sides of where you're entering in from. We want to set as good a funnel for our troops down the center. Now, I use the giant arrow and the queen. You can see I'm doing no epics in this attack versus the Town Hall 9s. When I show you the replay of this army against the Town Hall 10, we will have the epics that you need for this attack strategy. But against a Town Hall 9, you really don't need it. This army is so nice. Now, you've been noticing I've been spamming the wall breakers all over the base here so that the witches can get in. We use the king ability with the earthquake boots to open up the center. Then you're going to use the jump spell to get out of the center of the base. You've got one earthquake boots ability, 1 jump spell, and you essentially need to get across the entire base with that. You can see the witches are just doing such a good job across the base here, not only in the center of the base, but also the outside. Now with this army, you've got 2 rage spells and 1 heal spell outside of the jump, obviously, and you want to use them kind of smartly. I like using a rage spell at the start to push your troops into the center of the base. Then I like saving your heal spell till the back end of the base in case your witches go on a giant bomb or a wizard tower or bomb tower is targeting them. Heal the witches even if they're on the outside of the base. You'll see that in the Town Hall 10 attack coming up in a minute. And then use the rage spell wherever needed. As you can see, we've still got quite a few witches up here. It's not an overkill. This was a pretty tough base to take down, but keep in mind, I haven't used the CC in this attack. That's another really good thing about this attack strategy. Not only do you not need epic equipment versus Town Hall 9s, you don't need the CC either. Witches doing witch stuff here. I cannot actually believe they beat that wall, but we got the 3 stars, so it doesn't matter. Now we're coming up against a Town Hall 10. You can see these infernos on the base, and I'm going to break down to you how you should choose which angle you come in from, because that is incredibly important for this attack strategy. So firstly, you always want your main push to come on the middle of a side. So that would be from here, 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 or here, obviously. Your funnel golem and witches that I talked about, they're always going to come in on one of these 4 corners. So you've got 4 options to come in with your main push. Obviously, it's either this, 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 or this. Now, for this attack, I wanted to go straight into that multi-target inferno. I want to take down that multi-inferno when I have as many troops up as possible. If we come, say, from this side of the base and we're dealing with the multi at the very end, we won't have enough troops left alive to overwhelm the Inferno. We also might not have that many spells left. So I decide to come straight in from this bottom left side. So Golem 4 witches on the bottom, Golem 4 witches on the top left. Then we're coming straight through the middle. Obviously, I'm going to use my CC in this attack, and the CC, you have a Golem in it. Yet again, I used the giant arrow early. It doesn't take many buildings down, but it just weakens so many of them. You can see I'm sprinkling the wall breakers in here. You've got 14 wall breakers. Generally, just send 1 or 2 of them at a time, and they're going to keep opening up walls. You see all over the base here, the walls are open. That giant that comes from the action figure hero equipment is insane. I cannot recommend it enough. It is so good with all ground attack strategies at Town Hall 9. In fact, you're going to see me use it in the air attack strategies as well. We use the king ability. Spiky Ball takes down an Expo, which is absolutely insane. And the Earthquake Boots open up the base, and then we're jumping to the back end. We use the Rage spell here to get rid of the single Inferno so that the giant can live, because if the Queen gets rid of both of these bomb towers, then we know the witches are going to be fine. Bomb towers are extremely detrimental for this troop. Now have a look at this. I decide to use a heal spell on the outside of the base, which seems counterintuitive, but you'll notice a lot of the best Town Hall 9 and 10 bases have giant bombs and mini bombs on the outside of the base to kill witches or wall breakers. So you're going to find some of the time it's worth keeping alive these witches on the outside of the base, because the heal spell wouldn't have done that much to my Archer Queen. You can see actually the Archer Queen is self-healing because of the action figure hero equipment. whereas the heal spell means a lot to these witches. The queen comes in, helps with the bomb tower. This ends up being a slow finish. Keep in mind, this is a max Town Hall 10 we're taking down here with this attack strategy, but I want you to watch the ending here. This is something I like about witches. They can one-on-one defenses really easily. I'm going to show you another ground attack strategy next, because some of you prefer Pekkas over witches, so I'm going to show you an attack with that, and show you they're not as good at finishing off the base, and that's why I have Witch Slap in my top 3. Now, this attack is not one of the top 3 attacks. It's pretty close, but I wanted to show it in case you guys prefer Pekkas. So, similar deployment, we're going to put 2 Pekkas, 2 wizards on either side of the flank, then 2 skeleton spells quite early on, because we want them to be tanking all of these defenses, because Pekkas, they don't really need rage or heal spells. You just need something to tank for them. So the skeleton spells are perfect at that. Look at this Expo here getting completely countered by 1 spell. We use the King ability to open up the walls here. We've got 2 jump spells because Pekkas are not a ranged unit, so you need jump spells more than witches because witches can shoot over walls. Something I like about this attack strategy though is it's a bit easier to do because you have far less wall breakers. That Witch Slap attack, I did have 14 wall breakers, and maybe I didn't do a good job of showing it. If I didn't, let me know down in the comments below. But you're kind of spamming all the wall breakers around, constantly in groups of 1 or 2. Anyways, the queen's quite far back here. This attack looks like it's falling apart, but we've got 2 Pekkas over here, and I believe there's 2 Pekkas with the king here. Yet again, didn't use a CC on this hit. This is a Town Hall 9. If you're wondering why I'm hitting the same base, this is the last time you'll see this base in the video. I just wanted you to compare it to the Witch Slap hit. You can see here, right? The Pekkas aren't as good on the back end of the base because they can only tank for themselves, right? It's not like a witch that can spawn the skeletons. So it always looks better at the start, but towards the end of the base, this attack does fall apart. So that's why I prefer witches. But if you're going up against a pro Town Hall 9 base where it's got all of these giant bombs on the outside of the base that you see right there, then maybe Pekkas are a safer option. But regardless, Witch Slap or Pekka Slap, whatever you use, all of them are incredibly strong. Zap Dragons is, in my honest opinion, the strongest attack strategy at Town Hall 9, but also if you're doing hit-ups at Town Hall 10. And if you like air attacks, this is the perfect one for you. So let's jump into the replays, and I'm going to teach you how to use this incredibly powerful attack strategy. This attack strategy is so strong, I'm going to 3-star this Town Hall 9 base with no heroes. So, how do you start this attack? You're going to use 3 lightning spells and 1 earthquake spell on 2 air defenses to remove them both off the map. Generally, prioritize air defenses with lots of value around it. For instance, I removed the sweeper here, which was close to the air defense, and obviously sweepers are a pain. Then you're going to use 2 baby dragons to set a funnel. So I'm using them kind of where I did these zaps anyway, and then you spam all your dragons first, then your balloons behind them to just run over the base, and we kind of want to go through it like this to get to the back end air defense. So you can see the dragons fighting the defending queen there. This very annoying defensive CC comes out, but that's fine. Then I use the freeze spell to keep that balloon alive. It doesn't actually end up doing anything, but stopping that air defense on our balloons is obviously really nice. Then we're going to use our CC balloons on the back end of the base. These CC balloons are so important. Try not to put them near any splash defenses, so not close to wizard towers. You want to use it to take out expos and air defenses mainly. All these dragons in the center of the base are still doing amazing, despite the fact there's a lot of damage on them, the defending minion prince, the defending expo, this back-end air defense, but it is fine. You just kind of roll over the base here. I literally used a poison spell and a freeze spell and just spam the dragons in a line, and look at the 3-star here. Now, if you're going to use no heroes, like I did here, then you do need to use those defending CC troops, and the balloons are best. You can also bring a dragon rider and 1 balloon. That's also really strong. Either of those 2 combinations works a treat. But you see here, I still 3-star with 2 dragons up. It was a little close, but for the fact that I brought literally no heroes and we 3-starred a max Town Hall 9, that's kind of insane. Now, to take down a Town Hall 10 base, we are going to need our heroes, but we're still going to do this quite comfortably. Now, this whole attack strategy revolves around your giant arrow value. You always want to get rid of 2 air defenses, but you also want to pick 2 air defenses that have a line of nice value defenses in the middle. For instance, I'm going to get rid of the sweeper as well here. So I lightning 1 air defense on the top side. Look at the giant arrow here. We remove 2 air defenses and 1 sweeper, and then the last set of lightning spells here finishes off that air defense on the top side, and suddenly there's no air defenses on the base, and the only air sweeper on the base is from the side we're not coming in from. I use 2 baby dragons on the opposite side of the queen to set that side of the funnel, dragons, balloons, minion prints, and we're going to go straight into the single inferno here. Single infernos, multi-infernos, doesn't really matter for dragons. Dragons are really good against infernos in general, which makes this the best hit-up attack strategy. Now, some of you might be saying, oh, this doesn't count, there's no defensive CC. There is a Lava Hound and Balloon in this defensive CC here. It's one of the most popular CCs you see at Town Hall 10. It is so good versus ground attacks, but air attacks can take advantage of it, as you see here, which is one of the biggest benefits of coming in with air. If there's a Lava Hound or Golem CC, you don't have to deal with that. Then it's all about lining up your Dark Orb ability. I used it there not because my Minion Prince was in trouble, but I wanted to slow down all of these back-end air defenses. We've got 1 freeze spell left, so as soon as that Dark Orb wears off and the single Inferno locks onto a dragon, I'm going to freeze that single Inferno to keep it alive. The Minion Prince is only at level 10. That is max for Town Hall 9, but it feels so weak going through the Town Hall, but it doesn't matter. Look at how many dragons we have up here. And we haven't used our CC. I just took down a Town Hall 10, a hit-up, without a clan castle. That is why this is the best attack strategy at Town Hall 9. That is why this is the best attack strategy for hitting up. So you might be thinking, what's the point of showing the next attack strategy? Well, the next attack strategy is the most consistent once you've mastered it. And the last attack strategy in this video is Queen Charge Lalo. This is easily the most difficult in the video, but it's also the best at taking down literally every style of base. There is no weakness to this attack strategy other than the fact it's quite difficult. Now, if you don't have the time to master it, that's fine. You've got the Zap Dragons and the Witch Slap, but if you do, trust me, it's worth it because this attack strategy is strong all the way up to Town Hall 15. So before we get into the attack, it's worth noting, if you're doing a Queen Charge Lalo attack, your Queen Charge has to get rid of the Queen, the Minion Prince if it's there, and the defensive CC. If you can't get rid of all of those 3, then don't do this attack strategy, do Witch Slap or Zap Dragons instead. Thankfully, if I come from the bottom of the base here, I'm going to be able to deal with all of them. So, I place the Queen down here, we place the 4 healers behind her, and you might be surprised here, why did I put this CoC balloon down? And you see exactly there. I use 5 troop space to trigger the Seeking Air Mine to save 14 troop space, because those Seeking Air Mines will one-shot my healers, and that means my Queen has much less power in this charge. By the way, you're noticing she's level 20. All the Town Hall 9 v Town Hall 9 hits in this video, I had a level 20 Queen. All the hit-ups, I had a level 30. I just wanted to prove to you, you don't need max heroes to 3-star another Town Hall 9. Now you see here, my Queen's about to encounter a lot of damage, so I put this Rage spell down. But notice how I've placed the Rage spell. The center of it, where I actually deployed it, is behind the Archer Queen. Why is that? Because it's more important to rage up these healers than it is to rage up the Queen. In saying that, my Queen's still taking too much damage, so I freeze that Minion Prince. You've got the freeze spells there in case there's too much damage on your Queen, but generally you only want to use the rage spells. Now I put these wall breakers down once the Archer Tower is tanked for, so the Queen can go inside the base, because we need the Queen to go into the center. We can't just have her go around the outside of the base. The most important thing is she goes into the center and she gets rid of these expos and the CC. To do that, I use this baby dragon over here, because by removing this elixir collector, it's going to push the Queen more towards the center of the base. This Tesla locks onto my Queen, so I can safely put these wall breakers down, and look at that, we're opening the base up nicely here. I use a rage spell to deal with this annoying defensive CC. The baby dragon and witch is a pain, but the raged healers are going to be more than enough for that. And this is my third and final CoC balloon. I wouldn't use more than 3, but you can see this CoC balloon's getting so far into the base, we know there's no Seeking Air Mines anywhere for the Queen to deal with. I try and get these final wall breakers in. That was a little optimistic though, and we're getting the Queen very far into the center of the base here. Now, I've chosen to use the Minion Prince on this hit. I'm going to use the Barb King on the next attack you see with this. It's completely up to you. I use the Minion Prince here because he's going to directly target these defenses. Then you put a Lava Hound down and you're sprinkling balloons behind. 2 to 3 on each defense. You don't need to put more than that. They do plenty of damage. Look at this. We're putting 2 to 3 on these other defenses as well. And the Lava Hound is doing a brilliant job tanking. The Minion Prince is inside the base. Notice I'm putting all these cleanup minions down behind each group of balloons because I want the Minion Prince to spend time in the center of the base taking down defenses, not taking down elixir storages. The Lava Hound goes across the base. It's doing a great job. It pulls an air bomb or 2. The Queen is still alive in the center of the base. Now we're going to get a really good lineup with the Minion Prince ability, and we've slowed down all the defenses on the back end of the base. We use the Rage spell on the balloons here. They're going to go, and look at this. They've one-shots the air defense, and bam, this is going to be a 3-star. Now, in terms of when you start your Lalo, generally you want to start it like late as possible so your Queen can set a really good funnel. Notice how the Queen took out the center of the base here, so the loons moved in one direction across the base. But you don't want to start it any later than 1 minute 20 left in battle, otherwise you are going to time fail. We 3-star here without even using our CC troops. We did need both heroes, but no CC required for this. However, one of the downsides of this attack strategy is if you get matched up against a Town Hall 10 and they've got 2 single Infernos, this attack strategy is incredibly difficult. Single Infernos are a hard counter to this attack. Now we are going to use the Frozen Arrow. Frozen Arrow is easily the best hero equipment for Queen charges because you get extra DPS, but you also get the slowdown on all the defenses that are targeting you. So I'm Queen charging in here. The reason I picked this angle is because I believe I can deal with this defensive Queen and the CC, and thankfully there's a Barbarian King on defense here rather than a Minion Prince. You're going to see here how much of a nuisance the Lava Hound CCs are. In that last attack, the Baby Dragon CC was pretty easy to deal with. You just use a Poison and Rage. But this balloon does get shots off here, and it is a pain. It is also very slow to deal with. That's why the Lava Hound is very popular at Town Hall 10 in the defensive CC. It stalls you out for so much time. We've got the Queen into the base here. She's doing a great job. I put the Rage spell down. Yet again, notice the placement of the Rage spell is favoring the healers. The Queen steps around this open wall here. She's going to go towards that single Inferno. We need to use a freeze spell here, unfortunately. Not really much we can do about that. Now, I've chosen to use the Barbarian King because with the Spiky Ball, we can use the ability to take down some nice targets. I didn't do that in this attack though. I will admit I missed with the Spiky Ball. Probably would have been better to bring the Minion Prince. We pop the Queen ability on the right hand side. You can see why this attack is quite difficult. You do have to multitask a lot of things. The CC Dragon Rider here though is crucial, and it's easily the best CC to bring with this attack strategy, because it's just going to sit behind all these balloons and do a lot of damage. I freeze the Expo, which was targeting my Queen, and she was quite low on health, and that Sweeper, so the balloons can do lots of damage. And then you generally want to use your Rage spells at the start and your Haste spells at the end, because the Haste spells are really nice at just jetting your troops across the base. And you're going to see the Dragon Rider has just been chilling behind the army the entire time. The balloons and the Lava Hounds deal with all the traps, and the Dragon Rider can clean up the base. The King actually did a good job cleaning up here, credit to him. He does go down to the defensive King, but nicely done. And yeah, this is going to end up being a 3-star attack, but this was easily the most difficult attack. Obviously, I don't like the fact that these were all FCs in the video, but if any of you have done a war at Town Hall 9 and 10, a lot of the opponent's bases aren't that good. So I made sure by doing friendly challenges here, I set some really difficult bases. This friendly challenge, it took me about 6 or 7 goes to get the 3-star, because this attack strategy is just quite difficult to execute, and it doesn't really work against single Infernos. So against Town Hall 9s, this attack strategy is probably the best. It's not the easiest, but it is the strongest. But against Town Hall 10s, it falls off, and that's why I think Zap Dragons is the best attack strategy at Town Hall 9. It's super strong at Town Hall 9, it's easy, but it's also awesome against Town Hall 10s. Now let's dive into the hero equipment guide part of this video, and one of the first questions is always, which epic equipment should I buy with 1500 gems? Now, it's worth noting, at Town Hall 9 you also need gems to get your new builders, and I would never buy any epic equipment until you've at least got 4 builders, because otherwise you're not going to be able to progress through the game. But It's saying you've got 4 builders, which epics are we buying first? The first epic I would buy at Town Hall 9 is easily the action figure. This is the strongest hero equipment for Town Hall 9 in general, and you can see why here. You get so many different stats with this hero equipment, and the Giant is so tanky, it's kind of ridiculous. The second one I'd buy is the Spiky Ball. This is so nice to have in any ground attack strategy. The Spiky Ball does a lot of damage, you can remove defenses easily, but then you also get hit points and DPS increases on top of that. The third one I would buy is the Frozen Arrow, but worth noting, I wouldn't buy this unless you're planning on doing some Queen Charges, like the Queen Charge Lalo attack we saw. Otherwise, the action figure and Giant Arrow is a good combination for literally every attack strategy. And then the fourth one is the Giant Gauntlet. Now, you didn't see it in today's video because the Spiky Ball is just better in my opinion, but if you don't have the Spiky Ball, this is a really nice replacement. It does really well on compact bases, but you'll notice none of the bases I hit today were that compact, so its value is sometimes a little bit random, but it does make the King into an unbelievably strong tank. Now, those 4 are the only epics that you really need at Town Hall 9. All the extra ones are just a luxury. I would definitely recommend you get the 5th builder before you get another epic. And starting with the Barbarian King, and the strongest hero equipment item is the Earthquake Boots. Now, this might surprise you, but the Earthquake Boots is just so strong with all the ground attack strategies because you can save 1, if not 2 jump spells by using this. And what I love about the Earthquake Boots is even at level 1, it one-shots walls. So at level 1, it is strong. Beyond that, it's obviously nice to level it up, but given how nice it is at level 1, I had to put this equipment as the strongest. And number 2 is the Spiky Ball. The Spiky Ball is really powerful, but you do need to level it up to about level 9 before it is extremely powerful, but definitely worth having. It just does cost a little bit extra because it's not as powerful at level 1. And number 3 is the Giant Gauntlet. This equipment is really powerful. I'm sorry it didn't appear in today's video. For me, the Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots is just better. But if you do pair the Giant Gauntlet with the Rage Vial, particularly on compact bases, you can get some otherworldly damage. An honorable mention does go out to the Rage Vial. This is a really nice non-epic piece of hero equipment, so if you don't have the Spiky Ball or the Giant Gauntlet, the Rage Vial is my go-to. You would have seen it a couple of times in today's video. Then in terms of the best combinations, for me, it is the Spiky Ball and the Earthquake Boots for basically every attack strategy. Unless you think that the base is very compact, then the Rage Vial and Giant Gauntlet is probably your go-to. Now on to the Archer Queen, and unsurprisingly, the action figure is the strongest for literally every reason we've talked about today, but also just seeing it in action. I mean, the Giant is insane. At number 2 is the Giant Arrow. Now, you do need this maxed out to one-shot Town Hall 9 air defenses. It is level 9. All my other commons in today's video were level 6 or lower, so you do need it higher level, but it is worth all of the ore because at level 9, you're not just one-shotting air defense, you're one-shotting so many other defensive buildings, and the value is ridiculous. And if that's not enough, you also get extra DPS and hit points with this equipment. I mean, kind of insane when you think about it. And at number 3 is the Frozen Arrow. You cannot do Queen Charges without this equipment, so it is really nice to have. Kind of superseded by the Giant Arrow and the action figure, but it is still really strong, particularly if you don't have the action figure. This is a solid replacement. Honorable mention does go out to the Invis Vial. This is a really strong ability, particularly for newer players who aren't as good at getting your queen out of trouble by using spells. This is such a nice safety net to have in the game. In terms of the best combinations, it's kind of simple for this. The Archer Queen, for everything but Queen Charge attacks, use the action figure and the Giant Arrow. Make sure you pop that ability as quickly as possible and you're going to get some insane value. But if you are doing a Queen Charge, I recommend the Frozen Arrow and Invis Vial or the Frozen Arrow and action figure. Up to you on that one. Let's speedrun the Minion Prince here because you only have 3 hero equipment items, and the strongest for me is easily the Dark Orb. This is just insane. The slowdown effect is awesome, and it does last for a really long time. At number 2 is the Henchman Puppet. This is a really nice safety net for your Minion Prince. If he's low on health, pop this ability, you're going to get some health recovery, but then you get the 2 Henchman Puppets out in front to tank. But in my opinion, my favorite part of this hero equipment is the DPS increase you get. it really is significant, particularly at the higher levels. Number 3 is the Dark Crown, but I'm just going to make this as clear as possible. The Dark Crown is not usable till Town Hall 14. Just upgrade the Dark Orb and the Henchman Puppet. That combination will work up until Town Hall 14. This Dark Crown, I know it's meant to be epic and it looks cool. It's not good at all for, yeah, all of the lower Town Hall levels. That's it for today's video. I'm sorry it went a little bit long, but I'm trying to give you guys all the information you could possibly need to maximize your attacks, whether it be the strategy or the hero equipment you bring. If you have got some more questions, and ask them down below. I will answer every single comment. I love hearing from my community, and hopefully this video helped you.